best kept secrets of a niche mineral processing. Phones, we're not separating apples from Samsungs, but it's pretty close actually. It's urban mining. Cool. It is the recovery of metals from e-waste and other electronic elements. This is not local, but this is a great initiative in terms of urban mining, which Japan has actually launched for the Olympics. They are recovering metals directly out of cell phones and small electronics, and to date have already recovered, received 26,000 tons of small electronics. And from this, they are producing every medal for the Olympics and Paralympics. The most interesting thing about a cell phone is that there's almost 60 elements in cell phones. And the most notable of these, when you convert a 100-gram cell phone into tons, you have probably one of the richest mines in the world. You got over 280 grams per ton of gold, 140 grams per ton of palladium, 13 to 15% of copper, and almost 1,890 grams of silver. I just want to read this off if you don't mind. So it says the International Telecommunications Union estimates that all waste from electronics worldwide could be worth some 55 billion euros. One of the most precious metals that can be resourced from e-waste is gold. The total volume is far lower than other metals, but standing at some 500 metric tons of gold, which equates to roughly 18.8 billion euros just in gold. The interesting part is that only 16% of all e-waste currently is actually being recovered and is growing year on year. So where do spirals fit in? That's quite an interesting one. This is a flow sheet that was developed in Turkey. They unfortunately didn't put any spirals in the circuit, but we have seen that spirals do fit into the circuit in 3 places. And the true benefit behind this is on pure bulk reduction. By removing all the fibrous materials, like your fiberglass, your actual PC boards and plastics, it minimizes all the circuits downstream, reducing your cost on probably the most expensive part, which is chemicals, and that actual chemical consumption in the leaching circuit. This is 2 photographs that we've done from local test work. The first one here on the left is an actual spiral product where you can actually see all the metals, and the one on the right is actually spiral tail, where you can actually see all the actual fibrous material. So it is actually working, and we are getting more and more demand purely on recycling. We've actually just completed test work now from Europe, and I think the samples are being shipped out this week back to their client. But it's not limited to just spirals. From magnets, cyclones, even on CleanRx and DCellX, we are all starting to receive more and more inquiries around e-waste and urban mining, and how we can actually recover these metals in various stages throughout these circuits by reducing the costs on both sides, upstream and downstream on chemicals. So you could use the CleanRx here after leaching. So if there are any still metals precipitated in the solution, again, it's dependent, and obviously the same on the DCellX on the end on the water. If there are still solubles left in that water, it could possibly be used there as well. Yeah. Obviously, cyclones, pretty good in that circuit, but as we know, it's done by sizing, so a particle seen this size on the cyclone versus this is going to report differently. So spirals are still probably the best unit in terms of this. It's a very similar rig to like what we've got outside. It's just a single stage, so it's not multiple banks of spirals. It can be used as just a single roughing stage to purely bulk process on that circuit. The wear life should still remain very similar to what we get currently on our spirals, anything between 3 to 5, 6 years on the lifespan of the spiral. Again, the element is not in a sharp form, so we shouldn't really be getting cuts in through the spiral. So it should perform and last for fairly long.